Good day. We welcome you. We have given this message to the dear one here speaking currently in written form. However, we had things that were specific to her that need not be shared through the channel. But the thing that we would like to share with you is our message that of belief and doubt. Now, belief and doubt for this usage are thought forms. So we will start, we'll back up just a moment. We do use the term God because that tends to be one that comes in her vernacular. However, you can use source or whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Now, if entities speaking through a physical vessel bother you, again, as stated by other entities coming through this channel, you do not have to stay. Good day, and we send you love and peace. If you are still with us, we would like to talk about the fact that you are part of Source, or you are the child of God and one of the many children of God in a physical suit. You can think of it as a space suit or a suit like of that of the comic character Iron Man. Now, it's more than just a way to get around, it has some intelligence to it. The same with your physical body is like a car as well, with physical intelligence to it. Now, the thing is both belief and doubt trigger feelings. Doubt triggers feelings of fear, anxiety, and that sort of thing, whereas belief triggers feelings of wonderfulness, of goodness, of, well, all the things that belief is supposed to trigger, all the opposites, anything that you can think of, doubt would trigger, like fear, anxiety, and the like. Belief triggers the opposite, and some things that you do not yet have verbiage for. Now, you would use the feeling of belief or the thought form of belief because doubt and belief feel as though they are feelings because they automatically trigger. You have had these ingrained in you. You were taught them. Now, you were told that you were being taught beliefs. However, the things implanted from churches and schools, and not all of these are what we would call bad, because for a group of vehicles going around, say, for instance, on a freeway or in the sky, you need to have some rules. However, you were taught that beliefs are rules, and that is not the case. Doubts are rules. And yes, doubt does keep you safe. Sometimes fear does keep you safe until you are advanced enough for them to not be. So, for instance, as a little toddler or child, you may need to be scared of fire because of the fact that you do not have the mastery to be able to put on some sort of implement or handle it carefully, where you, as an adult, need to be less afraid of fire. You do not need to have fear. You do not need to have anxiety, all the things that doubt brings. You can have the belief in your mastery. And when you have belief and mastery that you can indeed safely deal with fire, like cooking and fire in a fireplace, that sort of thing, does not need to be fear. It can be in your belief, the belief that you have mastery. And again, you will have a different feeling when you, for instance, build a nice campfire so everybody can toast marshmallows or whatnot that you like to do, or belief that you have mastery when you cook on a stove or over a fire at a, again, camp. We do not know why camping is coming from her so much. However, that is what comes. And this is something to know about channeling, is that we are working, when we come through someone, we are working with pictures and imagery from their own mind. So that's why messages will sound different from one person to the next, if you are wondering. Now, we have digressed because she's kind of squirming around inside of there. So, beliefs give off certain feelings, as do doubts. And so, this is because they both have the same chemical receptors. Your vehicle, your body, if you will, translates them differently. It learns to translate it differently. It learns to translate when you have that same chemical pumping through your body. Say, we'll use an analogy that has been used a lot, roller coasters. When you go on a roller coaster, the same exact feelings and chemicals come as, for instance, if someone pulls some sort of weapon in your face, or you're about to have a car accident and you barely miss getting hit, that sort of thing. The same exact chemicals, your body just knows how to use them and it understands. This is why we said it's more than just a vehicle. There is some physical intelligence. It knows that that chemical given in entertainment versus life-saving moments should be handled and processed very differently. So we had mentioned that, like, schools and churches and society in general, because that's what society does, is socialize one to certain beliefs. And when we say beliefs, we mean, again, the good things, your belief in your mastery of anything, the belief that you are indeed a child of God, or one with source, if you will, and that all are a child of God or children of God and one with source, and that you are all connected. There are no higher, no lower, that you are an unlimited being. That is the thing, that mm, beliefs that you are taught, even in your churches, very well meaning. They say God, we say God. However, our view and vision of God is that you are one. Now, you do have with your Christ, the Jesus, in your Bible telling you that you have everything he can do, and sometimes you will hear pastors refer to brothers and sisters in Christ. However, they will sit there and tell you, though, that you are sinful and all these different things. So they are not really teaching you belief, they are teaching you doubt. They are teaching you to doubt that you are unlimited. They are teaching you to doubt. However, you came to this planet to learn lessons, to gain mastery. So you will feel doubt until you learn beliefs. And that is what you are here for. You are no longer a child. You're a child of God as far as it goes, but you are no longer a child. And because this is not listed as a children's video, you are no longer a child. So it is time for you to actually have beliefs that your body can use in a good way to mm, have mastery over your life. Because doubt is like a slow moving freight train. It's really easy to come on and off of it. Now, when you mm, have belief, when that gives off those good feelings, those wonderful feelings, they are like swift wings. And we were teasing her earlier when she was writing that we did use swift quite often, and we were using it in a very, as one might say, cheeky way, because in the household there is lots of Taylor Swift music, and it is tends to be empowering and tends to be liberating for some, especially those who have incarnated in a physical gender of the female body. Now, when again, It's very, belief thinks of, again, very swift wings, and again, doubt, very slow moving freight train. Now, you are used to that very slow moving freight train. Now, just like butterflies, when they emerge from the cocoon, their wings are kind of crumpled and wet, and they have to dry, they have to unfurl, and they kind of have to learn how to use them properly. So if you've been used to being transported around on a slow moving freight train, you are going to feel a little awkward and strange with your swift, beautiful, majestic wings. And these wings are so powerful once you get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, you will never look back. It will take a while because things are changing. Things are changing in your world, and you may look around, and this is where we are asking you to be in belief and not so much doubt. And we know this takes practice. There are practices, such as the work by a woman named Byron Katie, that asks you to question your beliefs. Now, she's using belief in the way that, again, society uses belief, or your church or your school uses beliefs, beliefs of what it's like to be a patriotic, loyal citizen, now those sorts of things. And you are watching in your country those beliefs change because you have one group telling you belief that you are patriotic means no questioning. And then there's another group who says, wait a second, it is very patriotic. As a matter of fact, that is the whole purpose of your First Amendment, is to question. And both sides have their rightness and both sides have their wrongness, because when it really comes down to it, when you have belief in yourself, when you no longer doubt who and what you really are, which again is a child of God or one with source, that means you can be a conscious creator. You are not just limited to what country you were born into, what color your skin, what gender, which gender is very different than sex. And we said gender when we did not misspeak. Sex is what happens when your doctor pulls you out and looks between your legs and says, ah, yes, there's this part or this part, and that's what your sex is. Gender is so very different, and this is why there is so much rigmarole, as you will, around this. So beliefs are what are needed now. Really true beliefs, beliefs that give you swift wings, that give you and let you be who you are, that fly you above all the things that you thought you were. Because again, the beliefs that you had were really doubts. And again, doubts led to fear, and fear did at one point protect you. And now, again, whether you are young or old at this point, it is time for everyone on your planet, although they may not know this, to learn mastery, to learn beliefs, true beliefs of who and what they are. Now, it is not your job to shout that at them. As we were saying, there is a person that has a step-by-step plan on how to question your beliefs, which again are really doubts masquerading, because beliefs should give you wings. When the things that don't give you wings, they are doubts. So really, it's time to turn inward. If you want to change the world at this point, you have to turn inward and really sort through what things are you holding that are truly beliefs, things that give you wings, and what things are you holding that are truly doubt, that keep you in that slow moving freight train of fear. And it is up to you. And we have all sorts of faith in you. We have all sorts of beliefs in you. And we know that when you are able to let those wings unfurl and master them, you will feel the world be 120,000%, because apparently math no longer applies any longer. You will be able to create everything that feels good. We warn you, though, to be aware, not beware. Because when you are aware, when you be aware, you can work and work those wings, gain that coordination. When you're beware, then you are in fear and doubt. And again, we had mentioned that your suit processes being aware and beware differently. So be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of the feelings, because your feelings will teach you if your thoughts are doubts masquerading as beliefs, or beliefs that are so small that they can barely be heard. Now, you know what to do. Either go look up thework.com, and we are not giving a commercial here, or just take to writing. Really take to writing, and as you write out your statements, feel, what are you feeling? Are you feeling a sense of excitement? And because fear and excitement, again, same chemicals. Again, roller coaster versus near miss. Totally the same exact chemicals, same exact reactions in your body. However, your feelings about it will be totally different. If it's fear, if it's anxiety, that's doubt. And if it's elation, excitement in a good way, like you can't hardly sleep because it's Christmas the next morning, or you are getting your new bike, your new car, your new blah, blah, blah. We hope that you can find that excitement by turning inward instead of toys, but just starting to learn the difference. Pay attention. Use that analogy. And you may not be a roller coaster person. That may be something else. It might be the feeling that you get, that excited feeling, again, is the same exact chemicals as a near miss. So start to really pay attention. Pay attention to the thoughts you think. Pay attention to the words coming out of your mouth. And feel the feelings they elicit. And start to question the things that make you feel doubts and fears. And start to foster the things that make you feel excitement and those good, true beliefs. We thank you for your time, and we will speak again soon. Goodbye. Hi, this is Mickey. So, thank you for listening to this channeling. I would come on before, it's just easier for me to take a moment before I press record and get into the channeling state. I don't do, there are people who channel that do things like make certain noises and, do certain breath. And that's not really how I get into my state. So eventually I will be on camera doing it. It's just I am right now practicing and learning and building my beliefs, building my wings, and working through so I don't feel those doubts any longer. Again, thank you all for coming. Be well.